Today we're talking about wisdom.
That's right. Very good. Yay! Thank you, Lorelai.
And it's a very special day for that.
Hey, Mom Togs. Welcome to our very first episode of Wisdom Wednesdays. I'm so excited about Wisdom Wednesdays. I know that I was like happy dancing over Tips and Tricks Tuesday, but I really think that this is going to be so foundational. Foundations are good. It's how we build up something strong and better. Being able to answer questions in a personal way and to share with you my thoughts and experiences, and there have been several that have been doozies. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe some of the things that have happened to me over the course of my career. I will share them with you in future videos. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss those. Oh my God. Just thinking about it, even just like, whew, pour me a glass of wine. I might have to have a glass of wine when we talk about those. Anyway, really want to foster a strong sense of support and encouragement. I want to make this group really different in the fact that this is going to be really, really personal, home hitting stuff. And, we really need to talk about the issues and the things that come up. You guys have to ask hard questions. That's where growth comes from. And you have to have a safe place and a trusted source to go to with those things. And so that's what I hope to be for you. That's the point of Wisdom Wednesdays. It's really, really a safe environment and a really personal way to share and to talk about some of these things. That being said, this week's question is a deeply personal question for you. And I know that if you're at the beginning of your photography career, you're building your portfolio, maybe you've sort of started a business, but you're not really growing it yet. You feel intimidated. This is a question that's probably running around in your head. And the question is, am I ready? How do I know if I'm ready? How do I know if I'm ready to stop portfolio building and start charging and to turn this hobby that I love and I'm so passionate about, and I feel like I could do this and turn that into a business and into a career? There's a lot to consider when we start talking about taking those leaps forward and going to that next step place. So much to consider. The first things that you have to ask yourself when you're asking if you're ready is, how much do you want it? There's so much that goes into a photography business. Once you start charging, you have to have business licenses, permits, you have to have contracts, which really, even as a hobbyist, you should have some kind of contract that just outlines everything and is an agreement between you and whoever you're shooting, at least as far as what you can do with the photos. So if you're portfolio building, it's good to cover that. Insurance. You need to have model releases, print releases. You have to determine pricing structure. What are you going to offer? What's the market like in your area for your level of skill? And it can be really overwhelming. So you have to be ready to embrace all of these different business aspects. You have to be ready to make the sacrifice financially to get your licenses and your permits, because you're not a business if you don't have those. You're not. You're operating an underground photography black market thing. You can't call yourself a business if you don't have all that legit stuff. It's really important. You have to be ready to take that step and make that commitment. You have to have a knowledge and an understanding of what your obligations are going to be to give sales tax to the state. In the state of Arizona, where I live, for instance, photography is a service-based industry, and therefore it is subject to sales tax. So if I do a session, I have to pay sales tax monthly to the state. I have to declare my earnings and send them the appropriate tax amount. So you have to be ready to handle all of that. And That doesn't happen instantly. It takes time and research, and you really have to talk to a financial advisor. It would be a good place to start. Talk to your local corporation commission. Talk to other professional photographers in your area if they will talk to you about you becoming a business, um, that sort of thing. And then the next step is really to ask yourself what you're willing to sacrifice. Running a business is not a la di da, I get to sit by the pool and drink margaritas and, um, I'll just shoot pictures on the weekends and that'll be that. You can't make a business successful by doing that. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into running a business, and you have to be willing to sacrifice time. You have to sacrifice time to edit, time to learn, because learning is constant. Learning new photography techniques with your camera, mastering your lenses. Editing is a whole other ball game that you have to learn how to do that and what works for you, and finding your vision and your voice when it comes to your edits. You have to sacrifice time in order to go through sessions, pick out the best images, edit them. There's so much involved. And planning sessions even takes time. Communication with clients, marketing yourself takes loads of time. Getting your name out there, finding your ideal clients, ordering prints for your clients once the session's complete takes time. And all of that adds up to like a full-time job, maybe even more than 40 hours a week if you're really, really trying to run a business. So you have to be able to devote time, and you have to be willing to sacrifice time from other areas. If you have a lot of free time right now because it's just a hobby, when you start running a business, you're not going to have that free time anymore. You're going to be busy working and running your business. So you have to be willing to sacrifice that. You have to be willing to sacrifice family time. There's family sacrifice that comes into play. And, if your kids all go to school and you have that time available, then that might be a really easy thing to give up, that amount of family time, because you can work your business during the day while they're at school and be really strict and scheduled with yourself. But if you have young ones at home like I do, you have to be willing to make those hard decisions and be willing to sacrifice some of that time, because it is a job. I mean, you have to have work hours, and you have to be disciplined, and you have to tell your kids, you need to go do this right now because mommy's very busy, and you have to be willing to say that and to do that when it is necessary for your business. So are you ready for all of that? That's a lot, right? I mean, we're talking about a lot of things that you have to do for the legal and technical business requirements, and then we're talking about a lot of time. So that's a lot, right? Are you ready for that? Well, if the answer is yes, then you're ready. You're ready if you're ready to make those sacrifices. Well, the other thing that goes into this is confidence. Confidence is so key when it comes to taking that next step. You're never going to feel 100%. It's just a feeling, okay? We're not talking fact. Feelings are fleeting. They're not based in fact, okay? Feelings are not fact. They're not. It's just a feeling. It is a deep breath, this will pass feeling. So, if you're feeling like you don't quite have what it takes, or you're not quite there, or you're wanting to feel something more than you're feeling right now, like you want to feel like you're stronger, you want to feel like your images measure up to all the competition that's out there. If you listen to those voices, you're never going to be ready. I mean, you're never going to dive in and take the step if you listen to those false narratives in your head. So first of all, stop comparing yourself to everybody else because that is a killer. That will like psych you out more than anything. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. And I know that's easier said than done, but seriously, get in the habit of just like don't do it. If you have to leave photography groups just because you every time you see an amazing image you're like, "Oh, why am I not that good?" Do it. I mean, boundaries are good. Boundaries are healthy. And you don't need that negative talk in your head. Just cut that out of your life. You need positive encouragement, soul food, camera, soul food, photography, soul food. Yeah, that's what you need. You need to be concentrating on things that are constructive in order to take that next step. You know, like you need to believe in yourself. I am good enough. I love the images I create. The people that I'm shooting for, they love them. You know, you're never going to feel 100% confident and 100% ready to dive in because we're all human. And there's so much that goes into this sort of decision that there is doubt there. And there's no avoiding that. To be honest, I mean, there just isn't. You're always going to have this, oh, what if I fail thing going on in the back of your head. You will. You will. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. But if you never take that step, if you never jump in, if you never allow yourself to risk, you're never going to achieve that dream. If it's your dream to have a photography business, if it's what you want, and you're willing to put in the time, and you're willing to put in the effort, and you've built a portfolio, and people like your work, and you're happy with your work, then you're ready. I would say you're ready to dive in. I think that this type of decision is so personal, and you really have to make sure you're on the same page with your spouse is the other thing I would say. Like, it's really hard to make things successful and to make the sacrifices and to make the investments and to do everything without somebody right beside you that is championing you. So whether that's a boyfriend, a spouse, a significant other of some form, or I mean, heck, your mom. My mom's like my biggest fan. So, I always have a network of support, and my husband's incredibly supportive as well. So I have two champions. They're my superheroes some days. You really need someone in your life that's gonna have your back and have your corner and believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You need that. So, all that being said, I really, really hope that if you're thinking about taking that leap, that you analyze these things. Think about the business aspects. Reflect on all of this. Reflect on the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. Reflect on the time. Reflect on your dream. And if you really, really want it, and you're supported by a champion or two in your life, and you have all the skills and the tools, and you're thinking that you're ready, then dive in. Take that leap, girl. You can do this. You can do it. Trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can take a really crappy Nikon D40 that was 5 years old when I started using it, and I can take that and I can take 4 years of time and go from somebody who really sucked. Like, if you look at some of my beginning images, they were horrible. Horrible. Bad composing, bad lighting, bad editing, bad. I had no idea what I was doing. But I took that starting point of nothing and I dedicated myself to learning and learning every day, something new, trying, devoted. And I built it up. And here I am, 4 years later, an award-winning photographer, top 100 in a worldwide major photo contest, voted on by people from all over the world. That's huge. 4 years. 4 years, and I have 4 kids, okay? Yeah. You can do it. You can, and it's worth it if you love it. You have to be passionate about it, and you have to believe in yourself. I put sticky notes on my mirror sometimes in my bathroom, like, you can do this. Cheering myself on. Cry to my mom when I have those hard days and those hard clients and those sessions that are just awful. Cry to my husband. Have a glass of wine or two. It was hard days. We all have them, and you will have them. You got to be willing to have them. That's another thing. So, that's not an easy question to answer, and I've rattled on for like 15 minutes now, so I want to keep these on the short side for you. So, deep breath. If you want it, go get it. What's that saying? If you reach for the moon and you miss, you'll land among the stars. I truly believe that. And I truly believe in each and every one of you. And you can do this. You gotta know that you can do this if you want it. If you want it. You don't have to worry about being ready. Just leap and trust yourself. You already know deep inside of you what you want to do and what you're capable of. You know it. So grab hold of that and give yourself a big pat on the back, big vote of confidence and encouragement, and chase your dream. You can't live your dream if you don't chase it. And that's my final thought for today. Guys, have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will be seeing you tomorrow for Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun too. All right. Bye, guys.